The concern I have right now, and perhaps my biggest recommendation, would be surrounding Iran. I think the issue about recertification and what to do with the nuclear agreement is a little bit of an inconvenient distraction when the other challenge Iran poses is really up in our face at this moment in time, which is Iran's destabilizing and meddlesome behavior across the Middle East. And just to take one case study, which makes it extra hard, you could look at Iraq. So Iranian-supported militias have played a pretty substantial role in the rollback of countering ISIS. That makes the challenge there a lot harder. And I can tell you they are still very much put together and still a presence across the country with their graffiti, with their flags, with their personnel manning checkpoints. So that's a real challenge. And there have been times over the years where the nuclear challenge posed by Iran and the meddlesome behavior challenge have bled into one another. And it seems this is a moment where we sure should focus a little bit more on the latter, because the Iranians are having some tremendous gains across Iraq, across Syria, of course, and more broadly regionally.
So one follow-up before we go to Dan and then Fede. You're implying, I think, that there actually are ways we can compete with Iran successfully inside of Iraq, that it's not over. Sometimes you hear Americans talk as if we've already sort of lost Iraq to Iran. I think I hear you saying that's not the case, and there are a lot of things we can do to at least be, a viable alternative. Could you mention a couple of the specific ideas going forward? Should we be thinking about an indefinite security arrangement with Iraq where we commit to be there long term with training and other kinds of assistance, or maybe economic aid as well? That, of course, Iraq's economy has really been in the tank because of fallen oil prices and the war. Do you feel like we should be coming up with an aid package that's comparable for what we give to Afghanistan and Israel and Egypt, but also for Iraq? I mean, I'm just curious as to what kind of policy ideas would support your vision.
Absolutely, and what that looks like. Well, part of it is making sure we keep working with groups like the Counterterrorism Service. Part of it is ensuring you have some sort of meaningful integration of these various militias into the Iraqi military. I think economic assistance and a long-term security relationship would also be key. And some of it is really playing a presence and playing a role. The Iraqis often feel like Iran looks to them like their little brother. And those dynamics are a lot more complicated, I think, historically than ours have necessarily been. I think that provides some important opportunities.